Adam, love those weekend temps. Thanks very much. Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to have Senator Ron Wyden live in studio. Senator, good to see you.
Thank you.
So let me start with next week's Southern Oregon's only gubernatorial debate right here in our NBC5 studios. What should we ask the candidates?
Well, obviously, the key issue is the economy. I mean, what are we going to do about taxes? What are we going to do about education? Obviously, there are big retirement challenges. We've all read the stories with respect to PERS. I find the big issues right now are the ones where the second word is bill. It might be medical bill, it might be education bill, it might be mortgage bill. There's still an awful lot of folks on an economic tightrope trying to pay for the essentials.
The vice presidential debate begins in about 45 minutes. What's the one specific thing you want to hear from Tim Kaine?
Tim Kaine, I believe, is going to stress how it's possible to keep your principles and find common ground. He's one of my favorites in the Senate. I've worked very closely with him on a whole host of issues, and his background is much like mine. He was a civil rights lawyer. I worked for the great Gray Panthers, and I think people are going to see somebody who's got a really good heart. Every single pore in his body emanates optimism and talking about the potential for this country, and I think he's going to talk about how you can keep your principles and work with the other side and get things done.
Does tonight's debate matter?
Sure, and the reality is tonight's debate will also highlight some of the issues that have been central in the debate. As you know, I feel very strongly there's a 40-year tradition. Ever since Watergate, every Democrat, every Republican, every liberal, every conservative made their taxes available. And it's especially important this year because the American people are seeing, and this was affirmed this week, that the tax code is sort of a tale of two systems. If you're a working person, you're a woman who's a cop here outdoors in Southern Oregon, you have your taxes taken right out of your paycheck. But if you're somebody who's well connected, you can sort of decide what you're going to pay and when you're going to pay it. So it's a tale of two systems, and we've got to have a fairer system. That'll be a priority of mine if I have the opportunity to serve in 2017.
In light of the New York Times report, is that still something you're going to be pushing for?
Absolutely. The New York Times report affirms two things. One, how important it is to get the returns, because returns don't spin. It's all there in black and white, and I think we ought to keep that bipartisan tradition alive. And second, it really highlights the need to fix this broken, dysfunctional system that doesn't treat somebody who works for a wage and somebody who is able to make their money through investments the same.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Senator Ron Wyden. Senator, voters tell us the number one concern they have is trusting Hillary Clinton. You know her well. Should they be concerned?
Look, she has dedicated her whole career to public service. And I'm just thinking, I thought about this morning in the context of my little girl, Scarlett, brightest red hair on the planet, 3 years old. I think Scarlett and all the other young girls are going to say, if Hillary Clinton gets elected president, they're going to say, look at what I can be. And she's done it the hard way. She'd be the first to tell you she is not the best public speaker in the annals of government. She's probably not, by her own calculation, the most charismatic. She's always worked harder than everybody else.
You've backed President Obama's Trans-Pacific Partnership. It appears neither presidential candidate right now is supporting it. Does that surprise you, and what happens now?
Well, first of all, we really don't know what it is right now, and I appreciate clearing that up. Mitch McConnell, for example, said it's not even going to come up during the lame duck session, the session after the election, and that he wants major changes. I am not going to sit idly by and let the public health protections, the environmental protections, the labor provisions. The public health protections, for example, are provisions that keep the big tobacco companies from hooking poor children around the world to tobacco. Now, we know that 1 out of 5 jobs in our state revolves around international trade. The trade jobs pay better than do the non-trade jobs, and the Commerce Department data, and I've reviewed the most recent data, shows that we are a net exporter in terms of goods and services. So trade is a real powerhouse for our state, and the trade jobs, as I've indicated, often pay better, up to 18% more at a time when people are concerned about wages. Let's see what, if anything, Mitch McConnell decides to bring up.
I know you're back in town, of course, for the reopening, I should say, the Crater Lake Klamath Regional Airport. A lot of airports have tried to bring the TSA back. How were you guys able to accomplish this?
The whole delegation was in. We all said from the beginning this has nothing to do with partisanship. We all pitched in. And look, this is going to help turbocharge the economy in the basin. It's going to be a big plus in terms of recreation, bringing more visitors. It's going to really help the fantastic quality of life that they already have. I'll be there for the very first flight. I think we're taking off at 6:40 in the morning. It's really going to be exciting and a just huge win for the community.
And you'll be on it, is that right?
I will be on
it.
it.
All right, very good. Good to see you.
Thanks for
so
having
much.
me.
Appreciate it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.